gentlemen, well, welcome you to the second to last round of XRL's Realistic League on F1 2021 as we're preparing to get underway for a race in the Netherlands here at Zandvoort, one of the tightest and most destructive races on the schedule for the XRL series. Of all the races I've gotten to broadcast here, I have never seen a race finish here with more than 12 cars. We have a full 20-car field today. I think before we get into anything, the number one thing to consider is that being able to finish today's race is of peak prime importance. If you cannot finish, well, your season might as well end here. There's only one more race left in the season. That will be at Monza for the season finale next week. But today, it's Zandvoort, one of the tightest circuits on the schedule. One nice change, though. We now have a full grid for the first time in about 7 weeks. So we finally have two drivers in the Ferrari camp. That has been the team that's really not been bringing drivers to the track recently. Finally, we now have two Ferraris. We now have a full 20-car grid for today's race. So, at least for me, I'm relatively happy to hear and see that. Top 15 fastest will advance to the next round. Also of note, for XRL Matrix, for him, it's very simple. If he can finish 7th or better today, he will automatically lock up the Drivers' Championship, regardless of whatever XRL Torpedo does. However, in the Manufacturers' Championship, it is a three-way fight. Right now, the AlphaTauris look like they have the advantage, but the Ferraris, now with two representatives, could potentially strike back. So could the Williams. Also, BG Bullbeast is finally back, or at least had the option to come back, and he took it, but he is no longer in the Williams. They have been so successful in mid-season, he has now been relegated down to the Haas. But I've got to talk with Frisbee. He said that he feels this track is very well suited for the Haas. He thinks that if the Haas is going to win a race this season, it will be here. And I'd have to hope he's right, because there's only one more race left, and frankly, there's no way a Haas is going to win at Monza, which is so straightaway focused, which is one of the areas where they show their most weakness at. Other drivers out on circuit, the first one to come out today was XRL Azda in the Aston Martin, although he has already invalidated a lap. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. Oh, wow. Is that a spin already? It didn't take long. Who is that in Sector 2? That is XRL 19, who has had a spin. Well, irregardless, we're going to go ahead, spin a lap on board with the Ferrari of BTEC Geleben, so we can get an idea of what a full lap is here in the Ferrari at Zandvoort here in Q1 before we get too far into the session. And Geleben sets a time 1:12.706, but at the top right now in the Haas camp is Frisbee at the 1:12.674. BG Bullbeast, his teammate, already set a purple Sector 1 as we see him flying through Sector 2 right now. Overtaking anticipated to be borderline impossible today, even with DRS helps. Qualifying and strategy will be keen for today's event. That and, of course, obviously surviving to race end. 51.316 at the end of Sector 2 for Bullbeast as we see an Aston Martin crossing the line. that will put Ozda back on top, 112.612. Ozda has had some very strong runs throughout the season, including a win after crashing early on at Brazil. Had a great top 5 run all a few races ago at Spa-Francorchamps. Bolbis has a 113.434, not quite as high as we were anticipating. As we see Waddington now, he is on the run to the final corner. There's also Bitek Geleben. He is coming out of the final corner now. Oh, and now Waddington's around in the Williams. Waddington has had an accident, spins across the track. The Haas has to swerve to avoid him. The good news for Waddington, he will be able to get going, bring it into the pit lane. But our first accident of the day in qualifying for the Williams. Aston Martin of James John in the middle of a lap right now. Not committing too heavily to it, considering he's not even touching the ERS. Javis John around the final corner now. He'll try and be the 8th driver to set a time. Dave Ewart is on the track ahead of him, but he is starting a lap, not finishing a lap right now. And Ozda has, what in the devil? Ozda has crashed out. Yes, Ozda has crashed out. And he's not the only one. XRL 19 has just crashed out as well. 2 drivers who have already set lap times have just crashed out. All right, coming in the party right now is XRL Ozda. Ozda, go ahead and include your audio. What happened? How are you out already?
I don't even know what happened, to be honest. The car literally just went. I didn't touch a curb or anything like that. So I have no idea.
Well, definitely a frustrating scenario. You're not even going to advance out of the first round qualifying. Do you think you can make it back up through the grid, though, as it goes on?
Hopefully.
As the race goes on.
Hopefully, as this is probably a chaotic race, the pressure is probably going to be the main thing around here, and yeah, we'll just have to see and hope everything goes very well.
All right. Well, thanks for being willing to jump in and talk with us. It's a shame to see you knocked out like this. We sent an invite out to XRL 19. He has not yet taken up the invite to come into the party, though. Hopefully that will change, but can't force him. Excuse me, XRL Dragon in the McLaren has set a 112.947. Conga line of humiliation for the McLaren team has slowed down a little bit. McLaren has started to earn some points again, but it's come so late in the season that looks like it may not really change all that much. When it comes to their in fate, Mr. Worsen has retired in the pit lane with a 113.896. That's the slowest of the 9 times set thus far. It's a very strange strategy, but he might not even be worried too much about qualifying the race very high up. Smoothie 25 in the middle of the lap right now. Round through Sector 2, Matrix, your championship points leader. Like I said earlier, if he can finish 7th or better today, he will lock up the title. Dragon's crashed out now! My goodness, what in the devil? I know this track is chaotic, but this is ridiculous. Frisbee now retires in the pit lane, and we're going to have to try and reach out to Dragon now. So we may not even have to worry about drivers getting knocked out due to not being able to set times. It just seems like the ability to keep the car together for a single lap is lacking in a lot of the drivers here right now. Bullbeast now goes to the top, 12.248. So Haas, first and second fastest on the timesheets right now. Flavor and Waddington both in the middle of laps as we speak. .363 for Flavor at the end of Sector 1. Waddington's a little bit farther up the track from him right now, as Kinsey has now come onto the circuit to begin his outlap. Alright, and coming into the party is XRL Dragon. Dragon, go ahead, include your audio. Big accident in an area of the track we don't normally see DNFs at. What happened?
I just got a bit greedy on the power and Slam bam, thank you, ma'am.
All right, well, this has been an absolute conga line of humiliation for most of the year for you. Thankfully, there's only 2 more races left. Only 1 after today is over. But I do have to ask, you're not going to advance out of this round. Do you think you have a chance at all of making it into the points-paying positions, or even lasting to the end of the race today, considering that already 4 drivers have crashed out of this session?
As I said, I was just a little bit greedy on the power. Simple mistake. I've run a couple GPs so far for this race thus far. Been able to take all of them to the end, and haven't had to finish less than the top 6. So I'm pretty confident. Car feels good, and again, it was just a simple rookie mistake.
All right, one last question for you. There's still the question, are you going to be running with XRL in F1 2022 when that comes out in about 2 months' time?
That has yet to be determined. Looking for a couple things to come out of the mouth of EA before I make a decision one way or another as to whether or not I'm going to continue into the 2022 season.
All right, as we see Kinsey Retro now have a spin back there in Sector 2. Well, hopefully we don't have to end up talking to you next week as potentially your last race under the XRL banner.
Absolutely. We'll see how it all shakes out.
All right, thanks for being willing to jump in and talk with us, mate.
Not a problem.
All right, XRL Zola's Dragon's teammate is now making his way into the final 2 corners now. So while one McLaren will not advance, Zola will try and get his to advance. Right now, 5 different drivers have retired from 4 drivers have retired from crash damage, and then A. Waddington and Mr. Worson. Well, now things have gotten really interesting. Zola says time. Now a lot of drivers are saying their time. Lowe is on the outside looking in with a 113.021. He needs to improve by about 4/10 if he wants in right now. He's in the middle of an outlap right now. Here comes Kinsey Retro to a line. A 142 though after he spun that lap, so he obviously is looking for something way faster, way better than that. But all 20 drivers at this point have set a time, even the ones that have crashed out. That's been the interesting part. No one's had a trouble setting a lap. The problem has just been keeping their car alive. Right now, Lowe and Kinsey need to beat Ozda and 19's time of 112.612 and 112.856. That is the barrier you must beat in order to make it into the next round of qualifying right now. Everyone else, they're good. They're locked in. They're safe. The Ferrari currently qualified 13th and 20th fastest. BTEC 11, 112.706. But again, these 2, they are the only ones, question mark. All 13 other drivers, they're locked into the next round. They don't have to worry about anything thus far. Coming out of the final corner is Kinsey. Pops open the DRS, and as he comes across the line, it will be a lap time 1:12.905. That's 17th best thus far. Lowe and Kinsey still need to find more time somehow if they want to go farther up. Lowe in 14th at the moment. I take that back. So Lowe has moved up to 14th, 112.733. So right now, Kinsey needs to find about 3/10 in order to advance into round 2 of qualifying. Frisbee, Flavor, Zola have all retired. Waddington and Worson both didn't crash out, but they just set relatively slow laps and said, look, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to go hard, and they retired early on. Lowe's invalidated that lap, but the focus, again, right now is all on this man here, Kinsey Retro. His teammate, BTEC 11, is on an outlap right now, a little bit farther up the track. Now I have to wonder if there's going to be an attempt by Gelebend to give Kinsey a drag. No, there's not. He's committing to his own laps. SFR Shu, who is currently second on the time, she's also come back out on circuit and wants to give it another shot, wants to give a faster lap. Out of the final corner is Kinsey, but he'll come into the pits low on fuel. It takes about 1 minute and 15 seconds to complete a lap around this circuit. So it takes you about 3 minutes and 45 seconds to do a full out lap, flying lap, and in lap. So for Kinsey, I think he has a chance for 1 or 2 more laps if they don't waste too much time. Ocean Lion, he now retires from the session. Collie Boy in the Red Bull is still out there, still pounding away laps, and actually gained on that prior session, that prior lap by 3/10, but he's invalidated this lap now. Will likely come in. And now SFR Shu in the middle of his circuit now. In the Alpine, Shu, one of the contenders in the Dev Series Championship, had a nasty accident earlier today at Silverstone in the Dev race. Now he's trying to put that behind him and focus on having a good run here today for this, the realistic race at a completely different type of track, Zandvoort. Alpine a bit slidey there in Sector 2. Comes in that short backstretch DRS straight. But even with the DRS open, you don't really get a massive amount of speed. You're only ever about 150 miles an hour at most going into the braking zone. It's a very hard, tight, right-hand 90-degree corner. Red Bull coming into the pits. That would be Collie Boy, as we expected. Shu is going to abort his lap. Bull Beast is on the lap right now, trying to improve, move higher up the grid. BTEC Jalebin on track, and that's Kinsey Retro behind him. This might work out for Kinsey. If they time this right, Kinsey might be able to get a draft off of Jalebin down the main straightaway to try and improve his time. Kinsey needs to find 3/10 in order to advance to the next round. Otherwise, he will not be able to advance. Yeah, it looks like this might be the strategy here. Ferrari can definitely see his teammate. Yep, definitely gained a toe off of Jalebin going down the straight. Will it be enough? Jalebin takes a very, very wide line in turn 1. Lets Kinsey scooch on by. Bull Beast crosses the line, does not improve his time though. Backstretch DRS zone for Kinsey Retro. He's down on time. This is not looking good unless he finds a huge chunk of time here in Sector 3. He's not going to advance. He improved. He's up to 16th. He needs to take off 0.08 of a second in order to advance. Time's up in the session. Jalebin comes into the pits, and we anticipate Bull Beast will do the same shortly. Kinsey's up by over 1/4 of a second. If he can maintain this, he'll make it in. At the end of Sector 2. He's up by even more, over 1/3 of a second. This could make it work. Kinsey might be able to squeeze in last possible moment. He needs to keep it together in these final corners. Last braking zone. And now it's all full throttle here to the end. Lane on the ERS, full throttle. Out of the final corner for Kinsey Retro and the Ferrari. Will he make it in? The answer, I believe it's a yes. definitely giving us something to be excited about to the end. Yes, Kinsey did make it in. Dave Ewart, though, fastest time in the Mercedes with a 1:12.122, followed by SFR Shu in the Alpine, BG Bullbeast in the Haas, BTEC Gleba in the Ferrari, Ocean Lion 08 in the Mercedes, Frisbee in the other Haas, Collie Boy and XRL Flavor, teammates in the Red Bull, can't make it in. Torpedo in the AlphaTauri advances, as does XRL Matrix in the Alfa Romeo, XRL Zola in the McLaren, Kinsey Retro in his Ferrari, Smoothie 25 in the Alpine, and Jabus John in the Aston Martin. In the end, though, 6 drivers do not advance, and I must have miscalculated. XRL Low, because of Kinsey's great lap time, Low will not advance to the next round of qualifying. Frustration for him. And then Ozda, Dragon, both crashed out. We're not able to get laps in. 19 also crashed out. Also, Waddington and Mr. Worsen retired extremely early in the session. The laps they set early were not even remotely competitive enough to keep them in the running going forward. So 14 drivers will be trying to vie for 10 spots, and the top 10 fastest at the end of the second session, the tires they set their fastest lap on will be the tires they have to start the race with. Right now, everyone except for SFR Shu, though, seems to have the soft rubber equipped. First driver out into the circuit, Frisbee by a massive amount. Still no one else has come out of pit lane. And the laps are so quick and short here. This could work out very well for him. Assuming that drivers aren't coming out onto the track while he is in the middle of a flyer. Considering how Sector 1 and Sector 2, and even the very first part of Sector 3 is laid out, traffic on alternate lap settings just really can screw with you significantly. But still, no one else has made an attempt to come out onto the track. So he's in the middle of his flying lap now, but only one other person, SFR Shu, has now come out onto the track, and Shu is on medium tires. So very strange scenario early on in Q2. Not very many people rushing to get out onto the circuit. Frisbee 25.339. It's entirely possible that Frisbee could end up having the time that everyone needs to beat for a long period of this session. Purple Sector 2, obviously. Now we see a Red Bull, that's XRL Flavor. He has come out onto the track. But unlike Q1, there's really not much of a rush by a lot of drivers to get out on track here in Q2. Now we're seeing a Ferrari making his way down pit lane, as is the Haas of Bullbeast. And Frisbee aborts his lap, comes to a dead stop, and then starts going again. What in the devil is he doing? Well, the 118.509 is not at all the lap time that we know that he can set. I have to wonder if maybe Frisbee is trying to just hold back and be deceptive as to what type of times they can actually get in that machine. So the focus now goes to SFR Shu on the medium rubber in the Alpine. Right now, one of only 4 drivers with mediums tires equipped, and he's the only one on track with that rubber compound of choice. Both Ferraris, both Haas's still out on circuit. Flavor crosses the line to begin his lap now. Final 2 corners for SFR Shu. A little bit wide, runs over the outside curbing, not too much of an issue. And coming down to the line, Shu will set a time that everyone will be going for. It will be a 1:12.663. I imagine we're going to see that fall very quickly because here comes the Ferrari of BTEC Jalebin. And Jalebin aborts his lap. Okay, so here comes Bullbeast then to get a lap in. It's also XRL Flavor, who is in the middle of a lap right now. Matrix and Torpedo both have medium tires equipped in pit lane, but neither of them made a way onto the track yet. Looking at Flavor real quickly, 50.60 at the end of Sector 2. DRS Open at the line for Flavor, 1:12.575, and now Flavor is on top of the timesheets. A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one, but it's not likely to last for long. SFR Shu is, well, he's on a cooldown lap right now, but Kinsey Retro is in the middle of a flyer. I anticipate he does have the speed to snag the top spot. McLaren of XRL Zola, he has now come out onto the circuit. Now we're seeing a lot more crowding on track. Bullbeast now goes to the top in the Haas 1:12.413. Spin. Alpine, I believe, has had a spin as Kinsey goes to the top. And that's SFR Shu. And that's right in front of Collie Boy and Torpedo. And Shu has been disqualified for the spin because it was right in front of the pit lane exit and it blocked other drivers. And it goes from bad to worse for SFR Shu today. Now we have a bunch of guys all on outlaps right now. This man here, Dave Ewart, in a relatively good position, though. As I say that, he very nearly invalidates and taps that outside wall. Dave rounding the last two corners in that Mercedes. Pops up in the DRS, lane on the ERS. He'll set a time 1:12.201, second best thus far. All right, and coming into the party right now is SFR Shu. Shu, go ahead, include your audio. A spin and a bullcrap disqualification. What happened out there?
I just hit the curb on turn 1 and it spun me, and the game gave me no time to react and put it in reverse and just disqualified me. So I don't think anything today is going my luck. So.
Alright, well, you're starting 14th in a very full grid on a crowded track, but do you think you have a strategy or the pace to get your way into the points-paying position?
Yeah, I'm going to try a completely different strategy than probably everyone else will. But yeah, I think I'll be happy with a top 10 finish.
Alright, well, I do want to say...
twice today.
Yeah, here's hoping that doesn't happen. Thanks for being willing to jump in and talk with us, mate, and good luck to you.
Yeah, no worries, thank you.
And while we were talking, two more drivers crashed out just in that little conversation alone. Dave Ewart, who had set a good time, 1:12.201, he's crashed out, as has Jabez John, who crashed out before he even got to set a time in this session. So it looks like we may be looking at another session where only one or two drivers are going to get squeezed out here. So Pandemonium, as an inability to finish laps and keep the car alive, is really wreaking havoc. Smoothie 25, 9th in the Alpine. Well, 9th on the listing, but that's not actual proper time. Now he jumps up. Well, now Frisbee jumps up to 5th, 1:12.619. Smoothie trying to be the 8th driver to set a time in the session. And with that Renault engine, he will set a time 1:13.243, slowest of everyone who's set a time thus far in the session. Now your title contenders, Matrix and Torpedo, both in the middle of laps. Matrix on the softs, Torpedo on the medium tires. Torpedo farther up on the circuit than Matrix is. Matrix, who has missed nearly a fifth of the season thus far this year, still walked off with a time championship lead very early on in the season, and he was dominating races. He got moved to a slower car and then performed even better with a worse machine. So he's the defending X2 Series champion, and he will be trying to leave here today, being the only man in XRL history to hold the championship in 2 different series at the exact same time. Torpedo's pulled over to let other drivers pass. So Matrix coming to the line. This should be a time that will easily get him forward. 112.116, that's second best thus far. So now focus goes to just XRL Torpedo and Ocean Line, both who are on laps right now, though Torpedo did pull over. So this is not a very accurate lap time. We'll see what he actually has in the following circuit. 138.480 for Torpedo. Ocean Lion, 50.1 flat at the end of Sector 2. Now navigating Sector 3. His teammate Dave Ewart ran really wide through there earlier. Didn't crash out there, though. He crashed out a different part of the track. And Torpedo has had a spin. So it's not going good for second in the championship. And that's not going to help the AlphaTauri team when it comes to their manufacturer's championship bid. Ocean Line goes to the top, 111.833. And because Dave had set such a good time, that squeezes Smoothie back out of the times. Only, it looks like, unless we're going to see a really big pace pickup, only 9 drivers are going to be in position to advance to the next round. So it's Zola, Jalebin, Smoothie, and Torpedo are the ones fighting for these final positions. Jalebin on the bubble with a 12.939 in the pits right now. Zola is still out on track on mediums. Not much fuel left in that car, though, and I think he's just on a cooldown lap for all intents and purposes. Movement in the Haas pit. Well, that's just both Haas's coming into the pit lane by the looks of it. Yeah, Zola's going to be coming into the pits here for sure. Smoothie, though, has already responded. But he's moved up to 8th with a 12.671, so for the moment he's safer. But there's still a Ferrari and an AlphaTauri on the outside looking in at the moment. Smoothie, the only man on track. As I say that, now we see a Ferrari coming back out onto the circuit. That would be Jalebin. Now we see a Haas and a Red Bull coming on as well. So that is Hollyboy and BG Boltbeast. Those two are not in a very bad position, but they're willing to go back out for whatever reason. Interesting strategy, to say the least. It's a bold strategy, Pat, and let's see how it plays out. Smoothie, though, very low on fuel. Almost out. He's going to be kind of coasting into pit lane. Jalebin on the outside looking in. His teammate Kinsey Retro barely made it into Q2. Jalebin, can he replicate? Can he barely make his way into Q3? And squeeze an AlphaTauri of XRL Torpedo out like Kinsey did to XRL Low. Torpedo now out on circuit. Now we're seeing Zola coming down pit lane. It looks like Kinsey's coming back out on track as well. Of note, Jalebin set his prior best lap on the medium rubber. Now he is committing to the soft tires. So in theory, he should just be able to carry significantly more speed through the corners, and that in itself should get him in. He needs to improve by about 21 hundredths, about 22 hundredths, if he wants to advance to the next round, assuming that Zola and Torpedo do not improve their laps. He's up by over a third of a second at the end of Sector 2. If he keeps that up, that would be good enough to get him over Zola. Final 2 corners now for the Ferrari. Up to 6, 112.515. So now Frisbee and the Haas might be at risk of getting knocked out. Torpedo, Zola, both in the middle of laps right now. Torpedo's up by just a 10th at the end of Sector 1. Collie Boy goes to the top, 111.687. Ocean Lion retires in pit lane. No need to burn up tires or make people wait for you. Only 8th and 9th. Frisbee and Smoothie are in on medium rubber, but that might change. We might see them setting laps on softs, or the likes of Zola or Torpedo just knock them out with laps on soft tires. Out of the final corner, AlphaTauri of XRL Torpedo. It does not look like he'll be knocking a Ferrari out. Will he maybe knock an Alpine Smoothie out to get in? Yes, he does. Torpedo up to 6. Smoothie now outside. Frisbee on the bubble. How has Frisbee responded? Well, he's just retired in pit lane. So yeah, Frisbee retires in the pit lane, will not be able to respond. Flavor in, Smoothie and Zola out, Smoothie in the middle of a lap. He needs to make it stick now if he wants in. He needs to improve by about 0.06 in order to advance. Bullbeast now retires in the pit lane. Flavor, it looks like he's going to make it in once more to another appearance in Q3. And no McLarens will be starting any higher than 12th. Big oof for them. Torpedo still out on circuit. I don't think Smoothie here has what it takes to get in at the speed. I think he's probably going to abort into the pits. Nope, he'll stay out, but it's just not fast enough. No, it is! He found time in the last moments. 112.319. He is in. Didn't see that coming, but he is in. Frisbee is now out. And Frisbee, who was on pace for a great time but threw the first flyer away, is now outside and will not get a chance to fight for the pole position here. And no one in the top 10 will be starting on medium rubber. Collie Boy on top with the Red Bull, Ocean Lion second in the Mercedes, Kinsey third with the Ferrari, Matrix fourth with the Alpha, fifth is Bullbeast with the Haas, sixth is Torpedo with the AlphaTauri, seventh Smoothie with the Alpine, eighth is Flavor with the Red Bull, ninth is VTEC 11 and the other Ferrari. Those are the 9 drivers that will be fighting for the pole position. Alright, so here we are. 9 drivers fighting for the pole position, trying to start as high up the grid as possible to avoid any potential first lap calamity. It's a very tight track here. It'll take a while to get everything singled out. You do not want to be involved in an accident in the first lap. You definitely don't want to be involved in an accident on the first lap in the last corner, because it's blind, high-speed, NASCAR-style banking. It's basically you're asking for a massive accident. If someone spins near the front and comes right up into the middle of the racing line, you could see a massive multi-car accident there alone. Two Ferraris, 2 Red Bulls in the final round of qualifying, and this could get very interesting. They could potentially be pulling some shenanigans to try and get better starting spots. The laps are very short around here. You could very easily get up to 3 attempts without too much of an issue. And that's assuming that you're just doing out lap, flying lap, in lap. If you want to go multiple laps, you could very easily do it. So Kenzie in the middle of the lap. He is one of 3 drivers on track right now with Holly Boy and XRL Torpedo. Holly Boy's already started. Torpedo now crossing the line to begin his lap. Ferrari's been looking very drifty in the nose. At least Kenzie's has. VTEC's looked a lot more smooth. But Kenzie, it looks like that nose likes to kind of drift around. And he's constantly making micro adjustments to get it properly set up to navigate the corners here and keep it on the racing line. Oh, alright. And into the Alright, into the broadcast booth. We welcome back XRL Ozda. Ozda, final round of qualifying. Shame that we don't see you here on the track for this session, but you've had some level of success at the circuit before. In your opinion, what is the best way to try to get a nice flying lap ripped off here?
A nice flying lap, you've got to be smooth around the circuit. You can't do any jaggedy inputs. Colorboy's doing that fantastically with 111.4, but you have to be super smooth. Like, I know it's really hard on controller to do that, obviously with wheel you can be a lot more smoother, but like smoothness is key to be quick around here. If you, right, so this is how I be smooth, and the same if, I don't know if you guys know if you're watching the broadcast, but I do karting as well. One single movement of the wheel, and that's it. You don't really be doing any micro adjustments like Kenzie is, but that's probably because he's on wheel. You only do micro adjustments, or getting the power too early and make the back slip out. So basically, the key on here is just be super smooth.
All right. When it comes to downforce setup, what is ideal here? What kind of wing level do you want your front wing and rear wing to be set at, especially when you know there's not going to be any threat of rain today?
I actually haven't looked at my wings. Like, I literally grabbed the setup 5 minutes before the event, which I know is quite not very good. But I would say you wouldn't want a really big front and like really high downforce around here, because obviously you have the massive pit lane straight, and then also you have like the sweeping S's that are really quick as well. But then you also have the banked hairpin that Colorboy's going through right now, and also you have the banked corner for the last corner. So it's just a mix of a little bit of downforce, but you mainly want hardly any downforce at all.
Alright, so despite the fact that it's a very tight circuit, basically just lower the downforce, maximize your straight line speed. At least that's brought you success. Ocean Lion crosses the line, 111.662. So 2 drivers in the 111s thus far. Now we see the Alpina Smoothie 25. He comes across the line. He'll set time 112.141. Now the only Haas, BG Bolbies, he'll cross the line now with a 112.352. I do want to talk about Bolbies real quickly. Outstanding Season 3 victories for the Williams, and he has been by far the dominant Williams driver. And he got moved down to Haas in the last 3 races of the season now. And now he's at a track where he feels that the Haas has a massive benefit over most of the rest of the grid. Do you think Bolbies has a chance to possibly rip out a 4th victory today?
It definitely is possible. Bolbies is really fast. Like, over every league that I've seen him racing, he's been pretty quick in. Obviously he's really quick in X1, but with the Haas, I feel like it's going to really be dependent on DRS strains, because that Haas is absolutely shocking in a straight line. So if it can get in the DRS strain, it'll be totally up for a couple overtakes, or maybe even a fight for a top 3, maybe even a win. But you've got to get through that first corner madness, and also through the first lap madness as well, as obviously tyres are cold, brakes are cold, and you know, some people have different awareness to others. So I think, you know, Bullbeast can be potentially maybe top 5 material, and if he gets into the DRS trains and stuff like that, maybe top 3, I'd say.
Alright, one more thing to ask about, and it's the corner that everyone seems to fear here, the last final NASCAR-style banked corner. We've seen a lot of drivers go around through there. Sometimes it seems like their rears go around, sometimes it seems like their nose just spins to the inside, independent. What exactly is causing the cars to go around in the final corner?
Usually it would be either touching the entry curb on the outside, that would usually make you go. Also, it could be Jurassic movements within the wheel. So, I think I did this in a certain league. I can't remember which league it was specifically, but I made too many mini adjustments through that corner, and basically I went around and I actually flipped the car, and I think I hit a Waddington as well as he was trying to go into the pit, so I blocked the pit lane, butchered into a DSQ. But mainly the thing is there's smoothness throughout that whole corner. You can't be jagged or anything like that because the back end will step out. And obviously with this track being so tight, everyone's going to be so bunched up, so if your rear goes on that corner, it's going to cause a load of DNS and wing damages.
Yeah, we've seen big lap 1 accidents before, but lap 1 accidents obviously isn't the only killer here. I'm sure you remember when you were contained for an X3 championship in the last game here, being involved in a last lap 7-car accident that trimmed the field down to only like 6 finishers on the last lap here.
Yeah, I do remember that, and that was out of going into excuse me, going into sector 2, that fast right-hander, I think, yeah, right-hander. Basically, what someone probably would have done, I can't remember the clip exactly. I know that a lot of people got taken out due to someone's just mistake. You would have gone wide, touched the gravel, dipped the gravel into the rear tyres, put the power back on, and would have spun around, and obviously took out quite a few people through only a little tiny mistake that cost people a lot of track position and also championship points as well. So yeah, the main key here is basically just to survive. Obviously, as you said, it's a really tight circuit, a bit like Monaco, but without all the massive. Oh, it's Bullbeast!
Ooh, and the Haas around in turn 3. He's already getting back going again, but he was out there trying to improve on his lap. Pushed a little bit too hard, around he went. He needs to hope that he didn't take any damage in that impact.
Yeah, I think he clipped his rear, from what my angle was, he clipped one of his rear wheels on a wall, and that sent the car into a little spin. Thankfully no damage and no wheel popped off. So it's good to go again. But like you said, yeah, it's basically a really tight circuit like Monaco without the walls and massive runoff areas at certain corners. So getting through the first lap madness is going to be key here today.
Alright, one more thing. Now, I asked you this earlier, but I just want to ask again. Well, actually, no, better question. Not very many drivers finish the race here at Zandvoort. I said at the start of the broadcast, I've never seen a race here with more than 12 finishers, at least not that I can remember. We have a full field today. How many people do you think finish today?
Oh, that's an interesting question, that. Kenzie's around as well, at the same place where BG Bullbeast went off. I don't know, I'll say I'm going to set high standards and high hopes because this league is very clean. I would say about 15 finishers, I'd say. Hopefully.
Wow, so you think we'd have more crash outs in qualifying than the race? Okay, it's a bold strategy, Pet, and let's see how it plays out. Oh, is that Collie Boy? No, that's not Collie Boy, sorry. That was Flavor, who just had a spin of his own. Collie Boy crosses the line and was not able to improve on that lap, but he does still have the top time by a large margin over Ocean Lion, who is second. It's a 1:11.662. Collie Boy 1:11.431. So at the moment, it's a 23/100th second swing in Collie Boy's favor. B-Tech 11 comes across the line, trying to move up the grid. He does, up to 5th now to 12.315. The next driver to cross the line will be BG Bullbeast. He's up by 3/10 at the end of Sector 2.
Yeah, the Ferrari's looking pretty quick here, I do have to say. The Ferrari has very good straight line speed and also has quite good downforce around here, so I'm looking for the Ferraris to get a very decent result here, especially Jabellin. So yes, Bull Beast goes fourth.
Now Matrix begins his flyer, and now you see Flavor, he's going to begin his flyer as well. Less than 30 seconds left. Everyone is out on track right now. Smoothie 25 coming to the line. He is fifth fastest right now. What can he do?
I'll be surprised if he improves, and he doesn't. Oh no, he
does improve.
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah, not enough to move him up the grid. And Collie Boy crosses the line. He does not improve either. Here comes the Mercedes of Ocean Lion.
2 tenths down. No one's improving.
Yeah, Collie and Ocean Lion do have one more shot at this.
Torpedo
just jumped up to third. So he's saying, hey, this title's not mathematically over yet. I still want one more shot at this.
I know how that feels.
That is Jalebin almost out of fuel right now. I think he's going to be coming into the pits. Kinsey is in the middle of the lap. He's actually up a bit on time at the end of Sector 2.
Jabellin is giving Kinsey a tow, which it looks like it's going to be. Although they haven't timed it very good.
Yeah, he still went up 7th, 112.267. Now here comes the Hassa Bull Beast. Bull Beast is down time at the end of Sector 2. Did he find anything here? The answer, no, he did not. Now Matrix, does he move up?
He does.
Yes, he takes a position back from Torpedo. Here comes Collie Boy. No, I'm sorry, that's Flavor. Flavor does not improve.
Flavor does not improve. Let's see.
Here comes Smoothie.
Yep. See if coming around the final corner here. Very nice corner to get it right. Can he improve on 6th place? No, he can't.
Time, yes. Position, no.
Yeah. Collie Boy, does he improve? He doesn't.
Nah. I think Collie Boy burned off the best off those tires, and Ocean Lion's going to abort.
Torpedo's down by 4 seconds. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so Collie Boy is your pole sitter. So a great job on his part, putting the Red Bull on the front row in the #1 position. It's been a great season, and well, the latter half of the season has been absolutely fantastic for the Red Bull camp.
Yeah, I do have to agree. I mean, Collie Boy, I've messaged him personally, and I've seen massive improvement with him in this league, and also X3 as well. So, and also Flavor. I mean, look how quick he is now compared to what we saw in the start of the season, where he's getting lapped 3 times. Now he's moved the wheel, and honestly, it's like a whole different person. So, yeah. But I'm gonna sign off here, get ready for the race, get focused, and hopefully I'll speak to you after the race, not in the middle of it.
All right, thank you very much, Azza, for being willing to jump in and kind of give us some viewpoints of this track and this race from a driver's perspective, and we wish you good luck in the event.
Thank you.
So now it's about a 5-minute wait until we get into the start of the race itself. Actually, relatively short Q1 and Q3 means that we'll be starting this race a little bit earlier than normal. So real quickly, let's go ahead and look at the championship standings as they are with only 2 races left. So in the Manufacturers Championship, 54 points up for grabs at the bottom. Mercedes still have not yet gotten 100 points. They are stuck at 96. They need 4 more points in order to break into the 100-point gap. 9th is Red Bull with 153 points. Level 6 Beastian and XRL Flavor have been bringing them up, but they've been rebounding well late in the season. The problem has just come so late that the gap they have to the rest of the grid has not been great. 8th is Haas with 165 points. I don't think they're going to leave here with that. I think they'll probably leave here with more points. 7th is McLaren, 186.6. 6th is Alpine with 207. 5th is Alfa Romeo with 236. 4th is Aston Martin with 243. 3rd is Williams with 301. 2nd is Ferrari with 307. 1st is AlphaTauri, 348 points. Right now, Ferrari, and then very outside Williams. AlphaTauri would need to lose every point, and Williams would have to maximize every point for these last 2 races in order to take the Manufacturers Championship back. Not quite as stringent for Ferrari, but it's very similar to them. They need to maximize everything these last 2 races in order to get a shot at the Constructors' Championship. In the Drivers' Championship, 20th is XRL Young with 26 points. Frisbee has slipped to 19th with only 52 points. 18th Level 6 Beastin has 53. 17th XRL Oz has 54 points. 16th Ocean Lion has 60. 15th BG Bull Beast has 62 points. 14th Mr. Worsen has 64 points. 13th is Fizzy with 69. 12th is XRL Low with 77. 11 is Dragon with 90 points. Dragon has slipped out of the top 10 points very late in the season. He needs to turn this around now. This has just been an absolute horrible latter half of the season for him. 10th, Gabo 367.20 with 90 points. 9th is XRL Jigsaw with 91. Flavor has hit 100 points this season. He has put him 8th. 7th is A. Wyington. He has 108.6. Is XRL Zolo with 130. That brings him into a tie with Gabe John for 5th, 130 each. 4th is Ryan Hurricane with 167 points. 3rd is Smoothie 25 with 177. 2nd is XRL Torpedo with 243. And 1st is XRL Matrix with 290 points. It's very simple for Matrix. If he can walk out here with 7 points, he will lock up the championship by default. He can basically what I've heard and understood. If he can walk out here with 7 points today, he will win the title. So finishing, 7th or better should put him in a great scenario today. And that's just assuming that Torpedo maxes out fastest lap point and the race win today. And Torpedo not looking forward to today's race very much. Matrix isn't either, but if Torpedo can't storm today, it kind of doesn't matter. Real quickly, we go ahead and look at the lineup as it is right now. As we know, everyone in the top 10 will be starting on worn soft tires, but behind that, Mr. Worsen and A. Wyington starting 19th and 20th, starting on mediums. Dragon 18th will be starting on softs. 15th, 16th, 17th, Ozda Low and 19th, they will all be starting on medium rubber. SFR Shoe, Davis Down, XRO Zola, 12th, 13th, 14th, they'll be starting on softs. Frisbee in 11th will be starting on medium tires. It'll be very interesting how this goes, because the top 10 should theoretically have a great start. But again, it's a very short run from the start-finish line to a hairpin first quarter, and the track is very tight. Doesn't ever really open up until you get back to the straightaway again. And then the straightaway itself is relatively short. Lap 1 accidents will be very, very big, and if it happens, you need to do whatever you can to avoid letting that kind of scenario occur. Should be getting underway here in about 2 to 3 minutes. Sorry for that. Alright, here we are, preparing to get onto the track now. Final 30-second countdown. 54 points still up for grabs in the Drivers' Championship. 108 still up for grabs in the Manufacturers. But of course, realism has to play into effect as well. You have to take that in consideration. That's why I've not been talking about gaps is quite that massive when it comes to the Manufacturers' Championship. Alright, looking onto the circuit. 4 lights, 5 lights. It's lights out, away we go, and no one on the front row got a great start. It's Matrix, who's already moved up into the second position, looking to the inside. It causes a stack up behind, 2, 3 wide. Farther back in the grid is chaos in the back, and right on the back, that's Matrix. Matrix is around, a Red Bull's around, Flavor's around. A massive lap 1 accident has taken and struck here. And Matrix, your championship points leader, is one of the men involved. His title rival is now up in 3rd. Well, Whoa! That was a thing. I didn't see that coming. Under the virtual safety card, and B-Tech Jalebin also has damage to his Ferrari as well, or maybe not, I don't know. Oh, but no, Zola, I think, does. Chaos throughout the grid. And Matrix, who had an amazing lap 1, immediately plummets down the order, and Flavor taking out lap 1 of the event. Lowe has recovered already from his poor qualifying and has navigated his way through the chaos to get up to 9th, but under the VSC, we really don't have a good idea of where everyone's probably going to file out, because we don't know how much damage some of these drivers have. Mercedes of Dave Ewart, he is going to come into the pits to repair damage. And farther back down the order, that's SFR Shu, he'll come in. Azza has to come in. Dave Ewart, Jabez John, he's coming in. Matrix obviously will be coming in. Worsen has just had a spin of his own under the safety car, and he needs to try and navigate his way in. All right, coming in the party now is XRL Flavor. Flavor, go ahead and include your audio. Gigantic accident after a great run in qualifying. What happened there?
I had a really good start, if I'm honest. Just watching it now on replay. Have a really good start. I keep the position just about off the start. And then I get up to 6th, 5th. And then 5th. And then just get out of left. And Matrix or someone swings back in onto the track and just in front of me. I have no chance. Absolutely no chance. But I was up to about 5th, so it was a great start for me. I'm disappointed. It is what it is, but oh my god, this is a good track for me, this. Maybe looking at a good top 5, if not a podium with no penalties maybe, and getting clean out. There's nothing I can do about it. He just swung back in. He's hit a car in front of him, and he's just swung back in from the wall and just come back on the track. Chance. Just unfortunate. It's just one of those things. I'm so disappointed because it was a good track and a good finish, well, good performance really, which is what I'm all about. So yeah, a little bit disappointed, if I'm honest.
All right, well, shame to see you knocked out like this, Flavor. There's still one race left for you to put up another great finish, and hopefully your teammate Collie Boy can bring home a good finish as well today. Thanks for jumping in, mate.
Okay, no worries. I mean, there's one great saving grace, and there's nothing I could do about it. It wasn't nothing I did. So it is what it is. Cheers, pal.
Alright. Alright, now we want to talk to Frisbee. Frisbee, go ahead and include your audio. Big accident early on. We're already under another safety car. We've lost 3 drivers in 3 laps. Frisbee, go ahead and include your audio. Accident right after the VSC ended. What happened?
I think Bulby tried to overtake Kenzie. And then Kenzie moved, and Bulby's got in the grass and spun, killed Kenzie, and then killed me. I had nowhere to go, so I just got unlucky.
Yeah, you can say that again. This was the last race. Basically felt that you had any shot of winning, and now you're out, and your teammate Bullbeast is dead last on circuit. One last race, Monza, and we don't anticipate much for you. Overall, how would you rate your season experience in the Haas from season start to now?
Shocking. Pretty bad. But I think next game will be a lot better because the car should be a lot closer, and the Haas shouldn't, well, the slowest car shouldn't be as bad.
Alright, well, we'll definitely see how that goes. I do want to say thanks for being willing to jump in, mate. It's a shame to see you out like this so early. Oh my goodness, it keeps going! SFR Shu has now had an accident of his own out of the final corner. Although his car is still running, he will be able to scoot it into pit lane. But the chaos continues. 3 DNFs within the first 3 laps of the event. But at the front, Collie Boy leads with Ocean Lion second, stalking him, and DRS has now been enabled, so we may see a Mercedes versus Red Bull fight here at Zandvoort very shortly. Third is XRL Torpedo, but he's a good 2 seconds off of this battle for a lead right now. Also, a little bit farther back, B-Tech Caleb has lost touch with Lowe and has let him fall under threat to Zola, who is in 7th spot right now. Dragon has had a relatively good start. He is running 9th at the moment. Ocean Line did not have a good run out of the final corner for sure, and actually let Collie Boy open the gap on him down the straight, despite the fact that the Mercedes would have had DRS. So Ocean Line does seem to be weak in Sector 3 and makes up most of his time around the rest of the circuit. So now the field's a lot more spread out, and frankly, there's a high risk that we see the likes of Bullbeast or SFR Shoe going a lap down sooner rather than later today. Ozza now just set the fastest lap of the day, 1:15.695. Now those times will naturally drop as the fuel continues to burn off. Yellow flag, Sector 3, Jabe is done! Oh, and there's nowhere for Bullbeast to go, and he slams right into him! And Bullbeast and James John crashed out of the final corner, and it's out! Yellow flag finally out for good. And now we're already down to 15 cars. We've lost cars at a rate of a car a lap today. Good bloody God. Good God. All right, coming to the party now is BG Bullbeast. Bullbeast, go ahead and include your audio. What happened? From my angle, I was right on board with you. Couldn't even see what happened, but what happened from your perspective? Oh, wait, Bullbeast, I think, is one of the guys who doesn't have a mic. Alright, well, if you want to write down or type up what you want to say and send it to me, that's fine, and I'll read it aloud. Collie Boy has now caught the pace car. Torpedo, 19, and Zola all pitted. Ozda now gets a penalty for speeding under the a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, so he'll have to serve that when we go back green. Bullbeast says he did not see the car because he was fighting with the Ferrari of Kinsey Retro. Yeah, that seems to check out. Nasty impact, no Haas finishing. It's a tragedy to see you knocked out like that, Bullbeast. It's a shame. Indeed. Well, one more race left. That's Monza next week. Do you have any anticipations or hopes for the finale at Monza? Excuse me. I have hopes. Alright, well, sometimes you just need to have high hopes for the living. Alright, I do want to say, Bullbeast, thanks for being willing to jump in and talk with us. It's a shame to see both of the Haas's out so early today, as we are under the full course safety car. 2 VSCs and a full course safety car. 5 cars out in the first 5 laps alone. And right now, the field is just trying to gather up. Zola will be the next one to catch the rear of the grid. And now, XRL 19, he comes out of the final corner. He'll catch the rear of the grid now. Mr. Worson running in 11th. As he now tries to catch the back. Looks like he will catch near the end of this lap. Though for SFR Shoe, it's going to be really difficult. He's still 11 seconds out from Ozda alone, and Ozda still has yet to catch the back of the grid. Ozda also has to serve a drive-through penalty when we go green again. So that's going to just further hurt Ozda's time, although that might have a small benefit in Ozda's favor because that means he'll be turning a lot of laps on a relatively clean track with no cars around to fight with. And with relatively fresh rubber, fresh mediums for Ozda, it could be a small benefit. Not a massive one. He is still overall losing a lot of time, but it could be a small benefit in some ways. Kinsey Red 13th now catches the rear of the grid. Ozda still another 7.5 seconds out from Kinsey. He's back there in 14th spot. But due to all this, the likes of SFR Shoe, who was about to go a lap down, he will actually be able to catch right back up to the back of the grid. Race isn't over for him yet, as Ozda now finally catches the rear of the field there. SFR Shoe rushing to catch them now. And we should be going green in a lap or two. In fact, I think we're going to go green this... No, we're not going green this lap, apparently. Curses. But at the front, Collie Boy, Ocean Line. Torpedo was running third, but he elected to come in, throw on medium tires. This has buried him back in the 8th position. Matrix, who was involved in that massive lap 1 accident, has only made his way up to 12th thus far, but he is still running. And again, Matrix only needs to walk out of here with a 27-point lead over Torpedo to lock up the title, and that's assuming it. So for Matrix, if Torpedo doesn't win or finish second, yeah, Matrix still has this championship won by default. In the manufacturers fight, both Ferraris are still here, both Williams are still here, both AlphaTauris are still here, and that can go anyway, but Kinsey Retro in the Ferrari camp is not in the points paying positions right now, so obviously things could be going a little bit better for them. So the entire field gathered up. Now 15 cars left after a chaotic first 5 laps of this day. Christ alive. Good thing we started a little bit early, because if not, this will probably end up being one of the longer races we have, considering we had 2 VSCs in the first 3 laps, and then a full course safety car starting on lap 5 going into lap 8. We'll be going green on lap 9 though. And assuming no crazy mimetic stuff happens, it does not look like we'll be continuing the rate of 1 car DNFing every lap of the event. If that did happen though, that would be absolutely hilarious. Lap 21, race is over because no one's left. That's not going to happen now though, mathematically speaking, but numerically at the rate that the cars are falling out, it's not looking great at the moment. Hopefully get some nice green running and without incidents, and we can keep going for a bit. Also, that's just talking about the guys who have crashed out and been knocked out. There's been at least 3 guys I've seen who've taken damage and have just not been able to do anything. All right, coming to the green flag now. Everyone came out of the final corner alive. BTEC 11 pitted. Smoothie going for a move on Ocean Line for second. Alpine versus Mercedes out of the first corner. Drag race for second. Smoothie's not going to fight too hard, so Ocean Line holds on to the position. Lowe, who started outside of the top 10 but had a great initial start avoiding early chaos, is already up in the 4th on medium tires. Dragon is in 5th on Sauce, having to fight with Waddington. Waddington pulls out of it. Torpedo, Worsen, fighting for position. Azza not making his drive-through penalty, taking his drive-through penalty yet. But we'll likely see him take that sooner rather than later, as 19 and Waddington in the Williams camp fighting for position between teammates. 19 on fresher tires. Waddington started higher in the event. Well, higher before the tires, I should say, before they started changing tires. Zola fighting for 9th. Last of the points paying positions are 9th and 10th. And that's Matrix, Worsen's teammate, behind him. And everyone gets through. Okay, so we should be green for a little bit now, hopefully. Lowe just kind of hanging out behind Smoothie right now, knowing that the top 3's tires will be falling off and will go in his favor. Dragon has had an uncharacteristically strong start to today's race, ranked 5th very early in the event. That's great news for him. 19 hanging out in 6th, Waddington in 7th, still behind his teammate. Zola continues to stalk Worsen, trying to find a way past. But without DRS, it's very difficult to pass here. Even way back in the day, that's Ocean Line, who has spun out of 2nd place. And that car might be beat. No, he's got it going now. But from 2nd to last, and this is perfect for Collie Boy because now he has a 2.7 second lead over Smoothie in the 2nd spot. So this is going very well for one of the Red Bulls at least. The other XRL Flavor didn't even make it through 3 corners, but and there we are, DRS has been enabled. Torpedo fighting with Waddington for position, looking around the outside. Sends it in, can't keep it together, but has good exit, not good enough, can't get ahead of the Williams. and Torpedo is fighting to try and get at least the Manufacturers Championship locked up, because as long as Matrix is still continuing to run and Torpedo's not in the top 2 positions, Driver's title is not in his fight. Right now he's just trying to win Manufacturers Championship for the AlphaTauri team. Matrix continues to put pressure on Zola as Zola is fighting with Matrix's teammate Worsen. DRS on this back straightaway. This will be Zola's best chance to try and get by the Alfa Romeo until they get to the main straightaway. Worsen, though, has the inside line. Zola into the dirt, runs wide. He will complete the pass, and now Matrix is held up by his teammate. Oh, and Matrix overtaken on the outside by SFR Shu, who's making his way back up through the grid. After instance earlier, Matrix really backs out of it aggressively. Now Kinsey has a chance to maybe go after the championship leader. He's not able to commit to it, though. Move came too late and ended up sacrificing his run in the following bit. Ocean Lion paying back there in 13th. Now Shu's has to figure out his way by the Alfa Romeo. Not going as smoothly as he'd want. Matrix absolutely sends it on Shu. I don't know what in the world he was thinking there. And Shu is being very aggressive on Worsen. Side by side in Sector 1. You don't want to be side by side through this part of the track. And he makes it stick anyway. Forces his way by at a part of the track you don't normally race at. And now Matrix has to do the same to his teammate. How aggressively does Worsen fight back? Not that aggressively. Worsen now out of the points. Now it's Kinsey's turn to tackle the Alfa Romeo ahead. Farther up, Torpedo, Waddington. This time Torpedo has DRS on the outside. He's farther ahead of the Williams, keeps him pinched down. Still side by side. Drag race for a position of 6 on the run down to turn 3. And Torpedo shoots ahead. Waddington's just not willing to give up, but you can't really fight back unless you really want to be aggressive through there. Waddington does want to maintain the aggressiveness. 19 gets by Dragon farther up the road, as Dragon's had a bit of a hiccup. Again, this is a fight for the Manufacturers Championship here. Torpedo definitely faster than Waddington, but just not able to complete the overtake anywhere around the circuit, as Waddington continues to deny him the inside line going into 1. And while Torpedo is basically, Torpedo's AlphaTauri is even with the Williams everywhere except for acceleration, it kind of doesn't matter right now, because this circuit, you only have one real acceleration zone of importance. Torpedo, yeah, he's going to have a slight acceleration advantage in the second DRS straight, but you don't really get beyond 155 through there. Alright, here it comes down the straight. Waddington again defends the inside. Torpedo's like, fine, I'll take the outside. This time he'll complete the overtake. And Waddington says, no, you won't, because he still denies the AlphaTauri the inside, but this time Torpedo has a better exit. He does move up into 6 for good now. And now it'll be clean track ahead. The next car up by about 3.5 seconds is Dragon, who was on soft tires that are fading away. Dragon's lost position to XRL 19 farther up. Of note also, Lowe has closed in on Smoothie for second spot, and Smoothie seems to be stuck in second. Was third earlier, but now it's second on pace. He can't seem to close the gap in by any significant amount on Collie Boy, who is leading right now. Zola has a possible shot at Waddington, but he needs to make it fast because SFR Shu behind is coming with speed. About a fifth of the way through the race. Well, almost a fifth of the way through the race right now. And a quarter of the cars that started are out already. But since the restart, we have stayed clean and green. Everyone whose restart is still on track. Zola looking to the outside of Waddington. The McLaren agreed to be a much stronger car, possibly the best car in the grid when you also weigh driver performance as well. Well, driver pace as well, but Zola and Dragon have struggled to finish races in positions that they've had the pace to earn. And Shu is right behind this group, as is Matrix. And Zola's around right out of the final corner, but he's lucky he does not hit anything. Whew. Christ alive. Christ alive, Zola. But he's alive and he's still going. Does not hit anything, does not damage the car, and he'll be able to continue, though he will fall to about 13th, 12th position. Might even lose that to Ozda here in 13th. Because Ozda is ahead of steam right now. Christ alive, I was just watching that battle, just kind of, you know, letting the visuals do the talking, but then Zola absolutely loses it. And now Ozda trying to get back into the points paying position. Very aggressive on Zola right now. These two had it coming together at Spa. Zola's really not been happy with Ozda's driving performance. Ozda's not been happy with Zola's officiating. And these two have somehow found each other on track again. Zola trying to pull away from the Aston Martin. It's just not working out as well as he anticipated it to. This means that Shu is now the one who is closing on Waddington for 7th. Man, Ozda right behind, right under that rear wing. Shu behind Waddington can't do anything. This fight is really the most active one on the track. Ozda within a third of a second of the McLaren running in the draft. Should be an easy DRS overtake. How aggressively does the McLaren defend? Not that aggressively whatsoever. Ozda takes the inside line, forces Zola to run the outside. Zola just, he's fighting back. He has better acceleration on that outside line, making a little bit of contact. Zola sends it. That's aggressive. It's a bit too aggressive, but he bullies Ozda back out of the way. Zola back ahead of Ozda now. 11 is there. Wants a piece of this again. Ozda, Zola taking alternate lines. In Sector 2 here, they're side by side. Ozda trying to drag race him, do it through a DRS straightaway. This could be it. This could be all that Ozda needs. Yes, he's by. Shu still can't get by Waddington, and Matrix is now there behind them. Oh, Shu runs right into the back of Waddington as Waddington gets really aggressive on the brakes in that turn 1 hairpin. And Zola tries to get back by Ozda, but it doesn't leave him out for attack by Jalevin. Kinsey has now caught this battle for 7th. He wants to turn the menage a trois into a 4-way fight as Shu continues to struggle to make any headway against the Williams of A. Waddington. Ooh, big twitch by Shu. Here comes Matrix now on the inside of the Alpine. Neck and neck, drag race. Shu has the advantage though. Matrix misses the apex of the fallen corner. Now Kinsey closes up behind the Alfa Romeo, but in the process, Shu has lost touch with Waddington a bit. Now he'll close back in, without a doubt, in the DRS here. But it sort of doesn't matter because, yeah, you can close back in the DRS, but so what? You can't actually overtake unless you're right underneath the rear wing of that Williams, it would appear. Zola doesn't want to let Ozda go, and he has DRS. He's using it, though, more as a defense against Kelebend. Well, now he looks to the outside of Ozda, sends it on the outside of Ozda, side by side. Ozda still has the position. Zola a bit better on acceleration, but Ozda blocks the lane, the primary racing lane that Zola was using, and now Ocean Lion is there as well. So for last 4 positions on track, a very active 4-way fight, and then an active 4-way fight for the last 4 points paying positions on track as well. Also, Lowe has caught Smoothie now for second, and we may see an overtake for the second spot very shortly here. Shu trying to make a dive, goes around the outside of the Williams. No contact, and they'll stay in that order for a little bit longer. Lowe has DRS on the Alpina Smoothie for second, but can't get alongside of him. Torpedo has also caught Dragon for 5th, but the real interest here is Shu on Waddington for 7th and 8th. Waddington defends the extreme inside. Shu looks to the outside. The Alpine just does not have what it takes. Or does it? Yes! Open! Opportunity! He's on the outside. Drag race. Can't hold it side by side with him, though, by the time they get into 3. And BTEC Kelebend pits out of 14th position. Tires that he's been on too badly worn. He wants new rubber. And with that in mind, that means that the leaders will likely be pitting sooner rather than later, the leaders being the top 2, to get off of their very worn soft tires. Shu, very aggressive on Waddington right now. Shu really throwing it in. Oh, and Shu's around! And that's right in front of your points leader, Matrix, and Matrix barely avoids SS Kenzie Retro, and Shu has to get back going again. He'll now fall back out of the points paying positions. Matrix probably has his heart in his throat right now. He's in 8th. If he can finish 7th, that would be perfect for his championship hopes. At the front, Lowe continues to stalk Smoothie, but cannot get by him. Same with Torpedo on Dragon for 5th. God, Torpedo very aggressive on Dragon. Well, at least it looks like he's very aggressive, but it also may be that Dragon's tires have fallen off so much. Also, as they look at the telemetry, Dragon is still trying to fuel safe to the end of this race, and as I go down the grid, I think Dragon is the only one still in fuel conservation mode. Yes, he is. Everyone else is good on fuel to the end, so Dragon's still trying to save gas. No one else in that same position right now. Farther back, there's this bell. Zola now caught behind a car again, but this time it's SFR Shu for 12th, as Ozda is just prancing away like a la-la pony. Smoothie pitting out of the 2nd spot now, and this promotes Lowe up into 2nd, but he's 6.5 seconds out of Collie Boy. Right now, it seems like Collie Boy in the Red Bull has this race well under control. Matrix trying to make something happen on Waddington now. Nothing yet. Kenzie continues to hang out at the back of this fight. Yellow flag, and that's Ozda! And Ozda has had an accident. Safety car is out. Coming into the party now is XRL Ozda. Ozda, gigantic accident there. Coming out of 3. What happened this time? Okay, apparently it's not going through. Ozda, can you hear us? No, I do not think so. Well, our race leader, Colliboy, will take advantage of this and pit now to get off the very worn soft tires. Perfectly timed instant for him. Lowe will pit out second, 19 in third position. He will stay out a little bit longer, as will Torpedo in fourth. Dragon pits out fifth. Sixth place, Waddington, I imagine he'll be pitting as well. Yep, Ozza is not going to be able to talk with us, it seems. Now we're down to 14 cars for Jalebin. This is great, though, because now Jalebin can keep on the lead lap, and he's on relatively fresh rubber as well, so this could go very well for him. Drivers throughout the entire grid pitting. Kinsey, interestingly enough, chose not to pit. Dragon did pit, and he is now fallen back to 9th, but still well ahead of his teammate right now. Shu did not pit. He's on very worn softs. I'm honestly shocked he didn't pit. Ocean Lion in 11th. He has not pitted. Worson's pitted. Zola, he's completed a stop. He is on fresh softs. And 11 back there in 14th. This will be a long safety car because how spread out the field is. Collie Boy now third on soft rubber. And Lowe now sixth on fresh medium rubber. So now we're just running under the safety car. Waddington now making his stop. And they're throwing on hard rubber, so for Waddington, they are betting on taking this set of tires to the end of the race. Worson still 10 seconds out from the rear of Waddington, and then VTEC 11 about another 3.5 out. As I say that, it looks like we should be going green lap 25, because Worson's just about to catch the rear of the grid here. So 19 and Torpedo now inherit the race lead, but they're on very worn medium tires, while third place Collie Boy is on fresh softs. But those tires for everyone in the top four will not last in. Low in fifth is on fresh mediums. I don't have a lot of confidence in those tires making it to the end either. There's the word officially safety car coming in this lap. 14 cars will be taking the green flag on lap 25, just a little bit more than a third of the way through the race. Alright, out of the final corner, 19, Torpedo, Collie Boy makes a great launch, but it's Matrix in fourth position as the best run. He's trying to run down Collie Boy, who's dominated most of this race. Farther back, Jalebin looks to the inside of Worson, but everyone's relatively single file as they take their way into turn 3 there. Oh, and Ocean Line's around and into the outside wall. And Lion, who has been one of the faster drivers earlier today, is around for the second time. The good news, he'll still be able to continue. The bad news, this will likely trap him a lap down. Collie Boy has now gotten away from Matrix. He is hounding Torpedo for a second spot. He wants to put that Red Bull back into the race lead where he believes it belongs and where he's shown it's belonged most of the day. Ooh, big twitch though. That's going to leave him open to attack. Matrix fighting back. So Collie Boy now showing a little bit of weakness when he's out of clean air. He needs to get back within DRS range of the two leaders. He's still within it right now. Torpedo, though, closer to 19. And now, Boy closing in on both of them once more. No DRS this lap. We'll see DRS engage the lap after this in about 2 laps. So about a lap and a bit more, realistically. 19 and Torpedo take radically different lines coming out of the final corner. And look at that AlphaTauri closing, barreling down on that Williams. He looks around the outside. Can he make it stick? No. In fact, all he does is just leave himself up in the Boy. Drag race for second. Torpedo has it. Boy still wants it. Torpedo in second. He needs to be winning this race to keep his title hopes alive. But with Matrix running fourth, that kind of doesn't mean anything right now. Matrix has recovered from a lap 1 exit to get back into 4th position right now. And he honestly could still walk out here with this win depending on how this race goes. 19 just kind of tiptoeing away from Torpedo a bit as Boy is putting immense pressure on the AlphaTauri. Ocean Line has made it into the pits. Torpedo just barely staying ahead of Boy, but when DRS engages, it's inevitable that the Red Bull will just walk away. DRS now been enabled. As this continue, this 5-way fight, full 3-way fight, and then 5-way if we want to factor in Matrix and Low for the win continues to be the big factor. Ooh, big twitch by Kinsey back there in 6th. And even farther behind that, Smoothie is holding up the McLarens of Dragon and Zola. Zola is Kai's teammate. He wants to get by his teammate. Been another strange event, kind of like what we saw at Spa, where Dragon had been the one outpacing Zola most of the day. And that's basically been the way most of this race has gone as well. I don't think Zola takes favorably to that. Zola wants to be the #1 driver on that team. He's like, after all, I've been the one earning most of the points this season for this organization. Boy had a run on Torpedo but backed out of it. He'll wait until he gets DRS down the main straight to try and power by him. Problem with that though is that Torpedo has DRS that he can get off the Williams. This will be an interesting fight for the lead here and for second. 19 leads. Torpedo has DRS on him. Boy has DRS on both of them. 19 defends the inside. Torpedo doesn't care. He'll hold the outside line. 19 sends it on the inside. Torpedo crossover on corner 1 exit. Drag race side by side for a lead into 3. 19 has the position and will hold it. Torpedo still sticking with it on the outside. Can't keep it there. And Boy thinks better of it. He'll be like, okay, I'll let you two battle it out for a bit. The problem though for Boy is that the longer he stays behind these two, the worse and worse. It's gonna burn up his front tires. He needs to get by them ideally sooner rather than later. Ocean Line is just at the fastest lap out there by himself on the racetrack, so good job on him at least. 19 continues to hold up Torpedo and Boy. Ooh, big twitch by the Red Bull, and that will bring Matrix back into play, and Matrix is on tires worse than the 2 leaders, and he just does not seem to care whatsoever. Torpedo once again run on 19. 19 defends the inside a little bit less aggressively. Torpedo sends it on the outside. This time 19 is going to intentionally keep there from being any sort of crossover. Contact, they're still side by side for the lead. Torpedo just really wants to get by. He's not happy with how this has gone. And behind, that's 11 who has spun out of the first corner. And now Low is putting Matrix under threat as Zola has gotten by Dragon. And now Shu wants to get by the McLaren as well. Contact. Dragon somehow keeps it alive. Now Worsen steams by him on the outside. Turns down onto the McLaren. McLaren does not care for that. He'll bully him back out of the way. No one's been able to get by the Williams of 19 thus far. Boy has better tires in the 2 ahead, but can't do anything. Torpedo has enough DRS to keep the Red Bull behind. Final corner once more. Gap's way more in the Williams' favor again. Oh, incident, Zola. And he's not the only one. Kinsey, Retro, and Zola have had simultaneous spins coming into the last corner. Did Kinsey just beat the car? No, he's not. But he will get back underway, and Matrix has just gotten overtaken by Lowe. So he's not going to be happy about that. So for the AlphaTauri Team Championship, at least, it's looking relatively good because they're running 2nd and 4th, while Williams are running 1st and 10th. And Zola's off again. This time in turn 1. Collie Boy sees a run on Torpedo. He commits, can't make it stick though. He needs to get by sooner because his tires are dying, and he doesn't want to end up getting stuck on the exact same tire strategy that the guys ahead are at, because then you'll never get by. Ooh, Torpedo ran wide there, down the straight. They both have DRS drag race. Torpedo has the lane of choice though. So Collie Boy holds on. Twitched by the Red Bull. Torpedo a little closer to 19 than he was last lap. But again, it doesn't matter because 19 can just completely bomb turn 1 and force Torpedo to get knocked off the racing line, and he'll still hold the lead. There's nowhere else he can really get by. Torpedo in the worst tire scenario, I think, of everyone in the top 3. And here comes Collie Boy. He again sees a run, but every time he tries to go for it, all it does is just leave him open to attack from behind from Lowe. And Lowe is on medium tires that are the same life as Collie's tires. So as this goes on, the battle goes more and more in Lowe's favor. Collie Boy is now closer to Torpedo than Torpedo seems to be able to get to 19, so I think this battle is basically gone away, and due to the yellow flag, it looks like 19 is now going to be fighting with Lowe for this race win, all based on how strategy and pit stops fall. A little bit of a slide by Collie Boy, so his tires are definitely now suffering. Right on board with Lowe in 4th. As you can see, Collie Boy really hammering Torpedo around the circuit. Off track, that's Mr. Worsen. No damage, but he is well off the circuit there. This will likely trap him, maybe even a lap down. He cannot seem to figure out how to get out of there properly. Now he's underway, but he's going to fall to 13th, might even fall to 14th. For a lead once again. Gap between 1st and 2nd is about the same as it has been for a while. And while we know the AlphaTauri is going to be better than the Williams in acceleration, that seems to be the only area it has. 19 just doesn't have to worry about it. He holds the inside line, then runs Torpedo off lane every single time. Contact between 2nd and 3rd. There's nothing the AlphaTauri can do to get by the Williams. Williams And then an pair of AlphaTauri sandwiching a Red Bull. Boy really wants out of this scenario. He knows he can overtake 19. He's sure of it. But he can't get by the AlphaTauri. Mercedes, and then 3 Honda-powered cars in the top 4. And then a Ferrari engine in 5th, and an Alpine engine, well, Renault Alpine engine in 6th. Torpedo even closer to 19 this time than before. 19 defends the inside. Torpedo storms around the outside. 19 again doesn't care. He just blows the first corner to keep... Oh, and he's around! And 19's around! And his own strategy has gone against him. Oh, and Dragon's into the wall! And 19, for whatever reason, thought it was fine to cut right back onto the track, and Dragon ended up swerving to avoid him, hit the inside wall, and now both of their cars are damaged. Now 19 slams into the side of Shu in the aftermath. What in the devil was that? Well, you can't just blow the corner every single lap after lap like that. You eventually will end up causing something to happen. I don't think anyone anticipated that to be the result, but it is what happens. Shockingly, Dragon and 19 are still running, but we are under a full course safety car, and for the likes of Zola, Kinsey Retro, Ocean Lion, and Mr. Worsen, this is great. They get to come in, throw on new rubber, and stay on the lead lap. For Torpedo, this is decently good. He now has the race lead. Boy is still second behind him. Lowe is third, and now Matrix is back into fourth. Who of the leaders are gonna pit? Lowe stays out, unsurprisingly, but first, second, and fourth all pit. Smoothie stays out. Dragon has to pit, as does Shu and 19, because they all have damage and all that. Waddington and the Hards can stay out, but he will choose to pit instead. Bold strategy, but okay. BTEC 11 in 10th, he will stay out and will likely pick up a few, not a lot, but he will pick up a few positions. Goes up to 6th. Zola coming in now. This means that Kinsey will likely overtake Zola on track and move back into the 11th spot, but he'll be behind Waddington. And that is not a position I would envy right now. Waddington, just the Williams in general, have shown to be borderline impossible to overtake today. And Worsen will catch up to the back of the grid. So we still have 14 drivers somehow, despite that crazy, pure stupidity crash. It was basically 10 laps in the making. You can't, I understand the idea, hey, I will defend the inside line and make it to where the other driver can't get him, but you know, you can't just intentionally late brake and run your opposition off the line every single time. That time, Torpedo just said, hey, look, I'm not standing for this. He held his lane. The two lines ended up crossing, the line that Torpedo was holding and then the line that we saw the Williams hold. And the Williams just ended up walking right into him because he missed the proper corner entry. So because of that, they made contact on exit. He went into the outside wall, and then for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just because of the angle of the impact or he started backing up, but he ended up right back into the middle of the racing line. And Dragon is the one I really feel bad for because he ended up having to swerve to avoid, ended up damaging his own car, and then SFR Shu gets caught in the mess as well. Although for Shu, it honestly worked out for the best because now he is 7th on fresh sauce. The driver right ahead of him is on worn mediums. Now the 2 drivers up ahead of them, mediums, and then 2 of the 3 drivers at the front are on worn mediums. So Shu now is in the second best tire position, track position scenario of everyone right now. And we should be going green relatively shortly here. I think we'll probably go green lap 37, so just a bit over halfway, because Ocean Lion is only 8 seconds out the back of the grid, and he's going to close in on them fast here. And then Zola and Worsen will do the same almost right afterwards, so we should be going green this coming onto lap 37 here. So a relatively short yellow flag at least. And thankfully, we still have the same 14 drivers we've had for the last dozen or so laps. Yep, there's the word safety car officially coming in this lap. So XRL Low now inherits the race lead with the Alpine Smoothie behind him. So Honda and Renault engine, AlphaTauri and Alpine at the front. And then another AlphaTauri Honda engine in third, and then a Red Bull Honda engine in fourth. Boy, want to talk about a stack up low, pulls away, Smoothie immediately falling under threat from Torpedo as we come to the green flag here. Torpedo inside, now he scoots onto the inside, side by side into the corner. Nothing that Smoothie can do, and Torpedo takes home second. Shu loses a position to 19. Waddington trying to get by Dragon, he'll do it. Collie Boy behind Smoothie now. So for the Red Bull, just frustration. But now, Collie, for a long term at least, is in a good position when it comes to tires. How aggressively will he try and get by the Alpine? That's the question. Collie Boy dominated the first third of this race, but he's been stuck behind someone else for most of the rest of the running. And Shu loses a position to BTEC 11. Well, he's stuck behind BTEC 11. Might be able to out-drag him here. Ooh, Ferrari just would not move off the line. Shu was like, hey, move out, I'm coming. But BTEC knows the racing line, will hold it, and force Shu to either have to choose between laying on the grass or backing out. Shu wisely chose to back out instead. So at the front, AlphaTauri 1-2, Low leading Torpedo. As they are pulling from everyone else, Smoothie just not able to keep touch with the leaders. And Collie Boy again stuck behind a slower car and cannot seem to get by. Good news though, DRS will be kicking in sooner rather than later, and that should work in Collie Boy's favor. Shu's still stuck behind the Ferrari of 11. Gets right underneath his rear wing, but not really able to do anything. Waddington is now there behind them in 9th. DRS there is enabled, so we'll see DRS get turned on the back straightaway this lap. The Alpine's trying to get by the Ferrari on pure driver skill and ability, but the track is so tight, you can't really do it. It's not quite to the level of Monaco, but it's similar to Hungary, in which without DRS you can't really make any overtakes, and with DRS you can only really make overtakes in 1.5 areas. But I find this track a lot more visually engaging and driver engaging than Hungary, so I like this a lot more than Hungary. Someone's gone off. That's the Williams. That's XR. That's 19. Well, that definitely randomizes the grid order, but he actually comes to a dead stop to let the rest of the field by. Good news for 19. No damage by the looks of it, but that could have gone better for them, for sure. No challenge for a lead at the moment, and Smoothie still holds off Collie Boy for a bit longer. They're coming onto the main straight here. Collie Boy has a huge run there. As they're side by side, Torpedo will easily pass Low. And for third, a little bit of contact between the Red Bull and the Alpine, but Collie now goes into third where he belongs. Well, closer to where he probably feels that he belongs. Jalebin under threat from Shu, but Shu could not make it stick. And now Waddington is going to come by. Or try to come by at least, but he could not make it stick. And Collie Boy, the man who has dominated today's race, has crashed out! And Collie Boy is out! Ah, the humanity! 19 is in pit lane, and this means it looks like it will be Matrix fighting the AlphaTauris for the race win now. Torpedo now leading slow, and Torpedo has soft tires, so he'll probably open up the gap on his teammate. Alright, and coming in the party right now is Collie Boy. Collie, go ahead and include your audio. Dominated the first third of the race, and now out of it. What do you have to say?
Absolutely gutted. Was having a good race. Just got on the power too early and put it in the wall.
Well, sadly, no points today at all for the Red Bull camp. There is still one race left. Monza, do you think you can, kind of pull off this performance without the crashing aspect next week?
Fingers crossed. If I race, I'm only reserving in realistic this week. But if I race, I'll be looking to do something. Got off to a good start, qualified in P1. Got off to a good start, was leading most of the race, up to one of the later safety cars. When I pitted, sitting P4 there, into P3, then binned it. Brutal.
Alright, well, it's a shame to see you knocked out like this, though, but I will say thanks for being willing to jump in and talk with us, man.
No bother, mate. Catch you later.
Alright, that's the word from Collie Boy. We are down to 13 cars on track. Right now, everyone's kind of stuck in a train from 5th on back behind B-Tech 11. Although Kinsey is trying to stay ahead of Dragon farther back, as Dragon is suffering on his tires. I wonder if he may have damaged or something as well, because there's no reason he should be running this slow. But Shu has not been able to get around the Ferrari, despite having better tires. 11 on the far older and far slower tires has just been able to keep the Alpine behind thus far. Waddington barreling down on the Renault. Worsen around out of the final corner. Here comes Waddington. God, you can't just blow the first corner like that to force the other guy to abort. I understand you're desperate because you think you should be fighting for the win, but Christ alive, that's excessive. Contact, and the Alpine goes up and will drop down the order now. Worsen looks like he got by without damage. Dragon got by Shu, and now it's up to Ocean Line to see what he can do to the Alpine. So now Waddington has his chance on the 11, and he'll probably make his way past this as well, because he'll just get along. If he's good enough coming out of the second to last corner, he'll just use DRS to pull alongside and blow turn 1 in order to force the Ferrari offline, and Waddington will go up in the 5th. Oh, and 19's out. 19's just crashed out in Sector 2. And that's a virtual safety car. No, that's a full course safety car. Very dangerous part of the track for that to happen at. But 11 will take advantage of that to get a free pit stop. But 19 out of the race. So Torpedo leads. Low second. Bit of a hiccup here on the track because the pace car was not able to pick up the leaders. So everyone just has to be really careful overtaking the safety car now. Only 12 cars left on the track now. Who out of the top 4 pits? I think Matrix and Waddington, 4th and 5th, will probably stay out. But will they be able to make their tires last to the end of this race? I don't think so. The race finish is still 20 laps out. I don't know how confident I'd feel on medium tires with 27 laps of wear on them. Torpedo's staying out. Low is staying out. Smoothie is going to come into the pit, so he wants onto a different set of rubber. Matrix now inherits 3rd. Waddington is recovering from his accident earlier, and he's already up into 4th now because he will overtake Smoothie on track. Dragon will pit. Ocean Lion, he'll stay out. Zola stays out. Worsen will stay out. And I imagine Jalebin will probably stay out as well because he just got fresh rubber on as the yellow came out. He'll actually probably overtake Dragon for 11th here. So now, just a matter of how long it takes for the field to gather up. Waddington's a good 7 seconds out from Matrix right now. So we're probably not going to go see the green flag until about lap 46. So we'll be going green with about 17 to go in that case. Ocean Lion there in 7th. He's now caught the bag. Zola still 5.5 seconds roughly off the back of the grid. Real quickly as we look at the telemetry, I think everyone should be good on fuel at this point in the event. Indeed, everyone is good on fuel now. Worsen now catches the back of the grid. Now it's up to these drivers in 10th, 11th, and 12th to do so. Of note, Low in 2nd on very worn medium tires. He will. I guarantee you'll have to pit again, but he may be waiting on another yellow flag for a chance to throw on some softs to go to sprint to the end on. In the same vein, I imagine that Kinsey, Ocean Lion 7 also will probably have to change. I think Kinsey and Worsen might be just on the cusp of maybe being able to make it to the end without having to stop again, but those drivers may choose to stop again if they think it gives them a shot at fastest lap point today. Well, there's only one Williams left in the race, and it's this man here, A. Waddington, and he's running 4th right now. That would be enough for 12 points. While the AlphaTauris are 1st and 2nd on the track, that would be 25 and 18. That's 41 points. 41 minus 12, that's 39. So right now, as it stands, it looks like we could walk out here with AlphaTauri adding another 39 points to their Manufacturers Championship lead. And we'll get you the exact numbers on it. That would be enough to get them the Manufacturers title a little bit later on, probably post-race, if they finish where they are right now. That would significantly help them in their quest to get the Manufacturers Championship. When it comes to the Drivers' Championship, though, Matrix is running 3rd. He only needs to walk out here with 7 points. He's en route to walk out here with 15, more than double that. So yeah, unless something happens to Matrix here late, it looks like it's going to be his championship now. Coming to the green flag. 12 drivers lined up. Who has it to the end? Green flag underway. Torpedo, great launch. Immediately pulls away from his teammate. Low has to fight with Matrix for a position. Waddington is there as well. How aggressive is Waddington going to be fighting with drivers who are fighting for titles? Ocean Lion Shu fighting for position. Ocean Lion got caught off just a bit. Now Zola goes to the outside, trying to make something happen. Can't make it happen. That's just a way wider line. But he does anyway because Lion is slow on the throttle. Kinsey Retro, Shu fighting, spatting for 5th. Oh, the Alpine's off! Now drops Shu out of the points to last position. That promotes his teammate Smoothie back into the points paying positions though. Zola hanging out behind Kinsey on track. Ooh, big issue gain on the throttle though for Zola. Now this puts him under threat from Ocean Lion and the Mercedes behind. Alternate lines for 6th, 7th, and 8th out of that final corner. And Shu pits, so he must have taken some sort of damage. It's not going great for him, sadly. Points might not be on the table for him today. At the front, Matrix falling slowly out of range from the AlphaTauris ahead. Waddington trying to close in on your championship leader. And Zola continues to hound Kinsey for 5th. With Ocean Lion behind. DRS now enabled. This is where things are going to start getting interesting now. Zola right there behind Kinsey, even without DRS, though. And look at that. Werson, Jalebin fighting. Werson has the position, though. Jalebin just could not navigate that final corner on the extreme outside. Matrix struggling to stay within a second of Low. So for Zola, the question is this: how long will it take for him to get by Kinsey? As Kinsey now gets a time penalty, he is struggling with that Ferrari without a doubt. DRS will be in the McLaren's favor here on the back straightaway. Will that be enough for him to get by? Werson scoots by Ocean Lion behind now. Drag race for the 5th spot. And Zola gets it. Nothing the Ferrari could do to fight back. Now Werson puts pressure on Kinsey for 6th. And while Ferrari is having a respectable day in the manufacturer's title fight, with the AlphaTauris being 1-2, it's not going to matter much. Ocean Lion pits. Here comes Werson. He charges to the inside. Easy overtake on Kinsey. Kinsey gets a little bit of a tap from behind from Jalebin now. But Kinsey is on very worn medium tires, and we're anticipating that he will be pitting sooner rather than, well, at some point, probably not sooner rather than later, but later rather than sooner, maybe to go for fastest lap point. Now it's Smoothie 25's turn to try and go after them. Something wrong with Ocean Lion. I guess the game might have reset him onto the racetrack or something. Oh, and Torpedo's had an incident! And Torpedo, who is running in the lead, has had an accident, has gone off, fallen to 10th, and that means championship is over because Matrix is 2nd and Low is 1st. This also brings a little bit more crazy play into the manufacturer's championship, but driver's title is now over in favor of Matrix as long as he keeps it here to the end of this race, because Low has a time penalty and will have to pit again. So Matrix is going to walk out here with the race victory. Unless we have another yellow. And then everyone has to pit. And even then, I think Matrix still has it because he has such a great track position right now. Dragon behind Smoothie, behind the Ferraris, as Jalebin's now held up by his teammate at this point, but is struggling to get by him. Ferrari drivers taking alternate lines in Sector 2 here. All it seems to be doing is just holding up Jalebin and keeping him from really making a move. In fact, it's actually brought Smoothie up to him in some of these sectors. Ooh, dive bomb! And into the dirt. And Dragon will say, thank you, I'll take that. He'll take advantage, move by. And now Dragon's the one who gets to go after Jalebin. Jalebin just barely in DRS range of the Ferrari ahead, and Dragon's way faster down the straight right now. I think Dragon's going to be able to out-drag him. DRS drag race. Dragon up into 7th. And now Smoothie completes an overtake on Jalebin, so now Dragon sets his sights on Kinsey Retro for 5th. for 6th position. Also, consider Kinsey's done a good job holding on to 6th for a while, but Dragon is on way better tires and is in a way better car. So I think this will inevitably go in favor of the McLaren. Look at how fast he closes up in sectors 1 and 2. He doesn't make the dive bomb that Glebin did. Obviously, he saw what happened. He tried that going into that corner. But he will have DRS and ERS down the straight. Kinsey defending the inside. Dragon on the outside, neck and neck. Kinsey just has the inside line, and it's just the faster way around, especially when the racing line lets you cut into the outside. Ooh, Kinsey wide though in 3, and that sucks Dragon right back under him. For the lead, Lowe is coming to the pits, and now Matrix, it's a cruise to an easy victory for him. 10 seconds ahead of the next highest driver. Oh, Kinsey and Dragon both had a bit of an instant there in the final corner. Dragon touched the outside wall. He doesn't care, he's diving to the inside. Misses the corner. Now he does what Waddington does and knocks Kinsey offline. Kinsey is not happy with that. He's trying to fight back. Laps to the end of this race. Do the top 3 drivers have tires that will let them go to the end? Ooh, Alpine! Smoothie right there behind Kinsey, right alongside Kinsey! He's by him! Or not! Yes, he is! But barely. Kinsey gets DRS though on the back straightaway here, but Smoothie also has off the McLaren ahead. Torpedo has caught the rear of this group, but has not been able to make any headway getting through them. And Torpedo is on very worn soft tires, and will have to pit sooner rather than later. Now Smoothie is already sucked up behind Dragon for the 5th spot. Ooh, Kinsey lunges under braking. Boy, does he lunge under braking. He's got to move. He's committing to it. Smoothie, Kinsey, Alpine, Ferrari. Alpine holds it for just a bit longer. Now Smoothie dives on Dragon. Forces the McLaren out of the way. Is Dragon's tires falling off? Kinsey on Dragon, made contact, nearly spun it, saved it. He's still behind the McLaren. It's a drag race for a position. Dragon crosses over, holds on. Kinsey tries taking an alternate line, can't make it stick. Ocean Lion spins farther back. Dragon trying, oh, Kinsey gets into the back of Dragon there. Is there damage on the McLaren? I think there might be damage on the McLaren. Torpedo pits farther behind, trying to get off his old tires. Now Kinsey barrels his way to the inside lane. Dragon doesn't seem to have any way to fight back, and I think Dragon's tires have worn off way more than Kinsey's have at this point. And all this is, while this is happening, Smoothie's like, thank you very much. I'm gonna walk out of here with this if I can. What the heck? That's Torpedo! And Torpedo's out! Championship over! No yellow flags, despite Torpedo's DNF, and now only 11 cars are left fighting for the 10 points paying positions. 11 has a run on his teammate Kinsey. Side by side in the Ferrari camp, and 11 finally gets by Kinsey. Alright, and coming in the party right now is XRL Torpedo. Torpedo, include your audio. At one point, it looked like you were in position to walk off with the race win. Now, out of the race, what happened? Walk us through the event from your perspective. Yeah, indeed. You don't normally see a driver go faster in a slower car, but that's been exactly what happened, getting moved to a slower car and then increasing his performance, ability, and a big accident! And Jalopin and Dragon both involved in an accident in Sector 3! Somehow that's not a yellow flag! I don't know how the hell that happened! But that's bullcrap! I'm sorry. Anyways, Torpedo, the only other bad news I have right now, it looks like your team's lead in the Manufacturers Championship is going to collapse quite a bit because, oh, and Jalopin now DNFs as well, because both of your team rivals are looking to finish ahead of your teammate right now. So you still have one more championship left to fight for at Monza. Good luck, mate. So a multi-car accident, and somehow we stay green. I don't know how, but we do. And now only 9 cars left in the event. Zola fighting with Waddington for second. Kinsey looks like he can still walk out of here in 7th position. Waddington in 2nd. This will be great for Williams' shot at the Manufacturers Championship. Maybe not enough, but it will be good for them. So for XRL Matrix, the championship is won. Now the question for him, can he win this race as well to cap off the season? Winning 2 of the last 3 races would be a heck of a way to lock up a title. But this is the most active fight on track right now for second. Alright, and coming into the party right now is XRL Dragon. Dragon, go ahead, include your audio. You were honestly having one of the best runs all season long, and then you get taken out, what looked like no fault of your own. What happened out there?
I saw Jeff's back end start to fishtail out. Looked like he corrected, snapped the car back center, and then it just snapped out to the other side. Come into me, just put me right into the wall. I'm not sure if he stayed on the power, deliberately trying to correct the car, but unfortunately I got collected back up in that. I think it would have been the more prudent move just to back off the power.
Absolute travesty, because you were, like I said, you were en route to what looked like maybe your best run of the season.
Yeah.
At least, without a doubt, the best run in the McLaren. An absolute travesty to see that happen, man.
Yeah. Well, I got one more race to hopefully make a run at this thing. Other than that, that's pretty much going to be curtains on the season.
All right. Thanks for being willing to jump in and talk with us. Shame to see you knocked out like this, mate.
Not a problem. Thank you.
All right. No word from Jalebin, so he has not taken the option to jump into the party, it would appear. This fight for third continues, but also there is now a fight for sixth because Lowe has caught Kinsey Retro. He knows that Waddington is out of touch, but Lowe just wants to try and get by at least the Ferrari, make sure the Ferrari is locked as far away out of Manufacturers' Championship contention as possible. Maximum 45 points can be earned for a team in a single race. I keep saying 54, but that would be under the assumption that first and second could both earn max points. They can't both earn 25. That's not actually how it works. 40 points is the most a team could earn in a single race. So for Lowe, he needs to try and make sure that the AlphaTauris stay 40 points ahead of Williams and Ferrari going into the season finale, just so they can lock up the manufacturer's title. Ocean Lions pitting out at 9th, likely going to try and go for fastest lap point. We're still 13 laps from the end of this race. You need to complete 90% of the event in order to be classed and earned points right now. Oh, and the Ferrari of Kinsey's off. And that promotes Lowe up into 6th now. Fight for second continues, but Mr. Worsen in 4th is closing gradually in this fight. Zola has the run on the Williams, goes to the outside. Waddington's being a lot more cautious fighting Zola than he was earlier. He's not botching the apex of the hairpin like he had been before. He's taking a much more controlled line. Waddington leading Zola. Still, Zola has the advantage of DRS on the straights, but Waddington has the cleaner air, and that's all it takes really to just stay ahead at this point. And again, everyone here is on worn tires, but Zola's been stuck in aerodynamic wake for so long, his tires are going to be way worse than Waddington's right now. So Waddington is going to come back from a self-inflicted accident to finish second by the looks of it. And there is Mr. Worsen a little bit farther back. He is gradually closing on this fight. But for Worsen, he's on tires that are even worse than the top 3. So I don't think he'll be able to make any serious headway either. Ocean Lion sets fastest lap on those fresh softs. Again, there's still 11 laps to go. I would not be surprised to see Kinsey Retro probably pit in the next 5 laps to try and go for fastest lap point himself. Only one Ferrari, one Williams, one AlphaTauri left in the race. Right now, Waddington looks like he's going to walk here with 18 points. Oh, Kinsey's out! Ah! Well, that takes Ferrari out of the Manufacturers' Championship hunt. And then there were 8. And for Ocean Lion, he's going to walk out here 8th. For finishing 8th, you earn 4 points. So if Ocean Lion can just make it to the end of this race without crashing, Mercedes will finally break the 100-point barrier that they have not been able to touch all season long. Ocean Lion needs to finish this race. Fight for second continues. Waddington versus Zola. I think, as long as Lowe finishes in 6th, even if Waddington's going to come home second, I think AlphaTauri will have the Manufacturers' Championship locked up from where they're standing right now. Yeah, you can see Waddington's being a lot more careful fighting now, and that's giving Zola a shot for second. Here comes Zola on the inside. He'll miss it. He puts the power down, slides out from under him. Waddington now has got second for good. Because I think with that, it just goes to show the tires are just too badly burnt up for Zola. He can't do anything. Even when he's slightly faster than Waddington, he can't do anything with it. He immediately starts closing the gap back down the Williams, but now Worsen is in play as well. Zola trying to close in on Waddington. He has the speed. He has a car to get alongside. But there's only one overtaking opportunity for all intents and purposes. As long as Waddington denies the inside lane, there is no overtaking that can be done. Now Zola came really close, but the tires is so worn out that it's not possible to make anything stick anywhere else on the track unless you're going to get to someone's inside going down the front straightaway. Now Worsen's already fallen back off of this fight for second and third, though, so his tires definitely are cooked. In fact, Smoothie in 5th is actually closing in on him. Smoothie on tires that are 11 laps younger than Worsen and 9 laps younger than your podium drivers right now. But the gap that Matrix has over Waddington alone, 13 seconds, is enough that it guarantees that Smoothie has no chance of getting a podium position. Seven laps to go. Ocean Lion, he needs to finish this lap. If he can finish this lap, he will automatically be scored for finishing 90% of this race. And will take home 4 points to finally get Mercedes into the triple digits in the Manufacturers' Championship. He's into him! Zola hits Waddington from behind! He's probably damaged the wheel and he's around! And that promotes Worsen up into 3rd. Smoothie will go up into 4th. Lowe now into 5th. And this will also promote Shu into 6th. It will be a great points day by the looks of it for the Alpine team. So Zola just way too ambitious, too rambunctious on braking. Throws it away. And will likely have to pit to repair wing damage. Lucky he didn't take that car out altogether. Now Smoothie 25 closing in on Mr. Worsen ahead. The fight for the final step on the podium might not be over yet. Worsen is also kind of closing on Waddington, but not at a rate fast enough to make it seem like second is seriously up for play. Alpine closing on Alfa Romeo just a bit through there. Half a second now. So Smoothie now within DRS range. He's going to go for third position without a doubt. Can he take third is the real question. So Zola now has soft tires on and is likely going to try and go for fastest lap point. He's also about 2 seconds ahead of Ocean Line, so he should be able to hold on to 7th at least. Smoothie, he's there. He's gonna have about 2 laps worth of shots down the main straight to try and get by Worsen with some DRS. Barreling down in the straight. Worsen, how does he defend? Doesn't need to. Smoothie couldn't get close enough. It's 3 laps to go right now. For the final step on the podium, here's the other wild card. Lowe is there in 5th. He'll gladly steal 4th if he thinks he can. Right on board the AlphaTauri of Lowe. And the way it stands, it looks like Lowe will lock up the Manufacturers' Championship for the team. While Torpedo has absolutely done some heavy lifting, we cannot discount what Lowe has done. Lowe has put together some absolutely incredible races in that AlphaTauri car this season. And has definitely helped keep that team, one of the guys who helped keep that team in a good position. So when Torpedo moved over, the two of them together could wrap up the manufacturer's title. So great job on their part. For third position, Smoothie is a little bit closer this time. Alpine versus Alfa Romeo. This is way closer than where they were before. He's right behind. He goes to the outside. Alfa Romeo defends inside. Alpine outside. Easy DRS overtake. Nothing can be done. Can Smoothie get away from Worsen? Because if he gets far enough away from Worsen, then Worsen might be under threat from losing that 4th position to Lowe as well. Worsen not letting the Alpine go. Lowe still hangs out behind the duo. Yeah, Worsen's gonna get DRS on Smoothie on the back straightaway here. Oh, big twitch by the Alfa Romeo! Here comes Lowe! Drag race. AlphaTauri has a nose ahead. Neck and neck, side by side, into the braking zone. And Worsen takes a time penalty, Lowe up in the 4th. Oh, and he's around, he spins. Oh, he saved it, but he drops back to 5th, and that will take him out of that fight. So that's it. Lowe will not be able to get back by Worsen. Well, he will actually, because Worsen has a time penalty, Lowe does not. So Lowe is going to get 4th based on time penalties. Farther back, Ocean Lions trying to make something happen to Zola here. But if you can't get him down the front straightaway, it's not going to happen, period. Because this will be the last chance for these two to cross the start-finish line straight. And if Lion can't make the overtake here, he's not going to get by the McLaren, period. He's got DRS right underneath him. Looks to the outside. McLaren inside. Mercedes outside. Easy overtake by Ocean Lion. But at the front, XRL Matrix has been a dominant force early on and then upped the dominance when moved to a slower car. No one has been able to touch him on any sort of consistent basis. He came back from a lap 1 accident that left him buried in the back of the grid. He has made up every position on track almost, and XRL Matrix will come across the line and will take home the white flag. 1 lap is left for Matrix. Lowe is going to get one last shot at Mr. Worsen for the 4th position. In the same vein, Zola might have one shot at the Mercedes of Ocean Lion for 7th. Down the main straight once more for a final time. Lowe is right there behind the Alfa Romeo. He looks to the inside. No way the Alfa Romeo can defend. It's too late. Side by side, neck and neck. He's by. Is he out? He's out! Worsen is out of fuel! He is the only one! And Ocean Lion is borderline on fuel as well! Ocean Lion just set the fastest lap of the race. Well, it said Worsen was borderline on fuel. Lion is out! Lion turned everything up for that final lap, but he is now out of fuel. But anyways, out of the final corners now comes XRL Matrix. He will come to the line and take home victory here at Zandvoort and lock up your Drivers' Championship for 2nd position. Smoothly has caught Waddington, but it's not going to matter. Waddington, with some excessively defensive driving and supreme confidence in that Williams machine, will take home 2nd after an early race accident. Smoothly is going to bring the Alpine home in 3rd. Lowe is going to come home and lock up the Manufacturers' Championship for AlphaTauri with a 4th place finish. SFR Shu brings home 5th, a good points day for Alpine. Mr. Worsen out of fuel. I think he's not, I don't know if he's going to make it to the line. Ocean Lion's faster than him. Ocean Lion's faster than him. Ocean Lion's faster than him. He gets into him. And now it's a drag race because that's held up Ocean Lion up. Ocean Lion will barely hold over Zola, and Worsen runs out of fuel and will take home 8th position. All right, and coming into the party right now is XRL Matrix. Matrix, go ahead, include your audio. A fantastic win, but first, what happened on the first lap? You had such a great launch off the start, and then got caught in that massive lap 1 accident. What happened?
I think a car clipped me, not too sure it was, and lost my wing. I honestly thought I was gonna die. Like, completely thought, like, this is it. I'm not getting into this. Rest of the race was good, and then unfortunately Torpedo dropped it, and I was shocked. I didn't even realize who it was until like I drove past him. I thought, where did the AlphaTauri go? But yeah, it was a great race. 17 seconds ahead. Pretty dominant. Yeah.
All right, well, Matrix, I'm sure these are words you've wanted to hear all time. For the first time in Extreme Racing League's history, you are the first driver ever to hold championship for 2 different tiers within XRL as the defending X2 champion, and you are now officially the Extreme Racing League's Realistic Series champion as well. Outstanding job, mate.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I like this game a lot. As I look back at this game, I think that was a really good game, but next year we'll see what happens, because EA are now in control, so we'll see.
Alright, well, looking back at this entire season, mate, it's been a 23 race journey. You've missed about about a fifth of the races this season. Walk us through this season, though, from your perspective. Just when was the big turning point that really let you seize control of the championship, in your opinion? I know what I would say it was, but in your opinion, when was the turning point?
Getting put in an Alfa Romeo.
Oh, you think that was it? Oh, I would have said way earlier in this. I would have said Japan.
Nah, because where did I finish in Japan? Where even was Japan? I'm looking at it right now. Where is it?
I mean,
Oh,
at
it's at the
Japan.
start,
Let me
James
pull up
Bond.
the.
It's
Yeah.
Torpedo DNF, but I DNF'd in Bahrain.
Yeah.
So he was actually leading the champion. No, I was. I've missed 1, 2, 3 races at I've own choice, and then DNF'd at 2. So I've not finished 5. The rest I finished the points.
And not only do you finish in the points, you make a habit of finishing very high and very well in the points as well. It's kind of one of those things where it doesn't really matter if you're inconsistent if when every time you're hitting with massive points in your bag.
Yeah, first race in the Alfa Romeo was 6 in Spain, and then including this race in Baku, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 races in a row now, top 3. So, and I didn't get that consistency in Aston Martin.
Alright, so one more question, Matrix. One race left in the season. It's Monza. Are you going to show up? And if you show up, are you going to win?
Don't know. We'll see how I feel. I was in 2 thoughts of winning racing tonight because I feel dreadful, but I just thought I'll just race and see what happens. But yeah, cool.
Alright. Well, congratulations, Matrix. You're Extreme Racing League's realistic champion. And now I want to go ahead and talk about the second place finisher, A. Waddington. Waddington, a very interesting second place finish, a very controversial race, at least from what I could see. But in that Williams, I'm going to be honest, of everyone out there on track, you seem to have more confidence in what that car could do than anybody else today. And it seems like that confidence is what really brought home that second position for you. Walk us through the race from your perspective.
Well, to add on to what you just said, my confidence definitely took a knock in qualifying. I was feeling miles off at pace, but I knew there were going to be a lot of safety cars. And it was just all about getting that track position and hoping for more safety cars to then save me, which happened. And also evasive driving to avoid everyone that sadly messed up in front of me. I also want to give a shout out to Zola as well, because that battle I had with him, he had me sweating like crazy.
Indeed. All right, so I do want to go ahead and ask this. So I will admit I am a broadcaster. I'm seeing it from a outside of the car camera's perspective. To me, at least, it looked like one of the main reasons you were able to lead so many laps and just hold on to a good position today. You had a run, you would get a good run out of the second to last corner, a braking zone, carry that momentum all through the final corner, all the way down the straightaway, and even if someone behind you was faster, you would hold the inside lane, and you wouldn't totally botch the corner, but it seemed like you were intentionally missing the apex in order to force the guy on the outside to give up and back out.
Yeah, force someone to rumble straight, but don't force them off enough that they go into gravel, because I'm not that sort of driver. So I'll always be fair. But if you force them onto that rumble strip on outside turn 1, they obviously lose traction, so they have to lift.
Well, you did it well. There was one time, obviously, though, that you did it. It didn't work out. You made contact, and you somehow came back from that. What, like, I saw you two make contact, but what was it? Was it a mistake from you? Was the other guy coming down into you?
I think
Problem putting the power down? What was that?
I think it was just crap physics, because honestly, it was slightest tap on my screen, and it just sent him to Narnia. Just sent him into absolute realm, into a wall.
The lion, the witch, and the audacity of these physics.
I don't think any of us did anything wrong. I said straight in Poyo, like, without my fault, because I think Kenzie were behind us. Because I don't even know, or something like that.
Right. Well, I will say this. I would definitely say controversial, considering at least how, over the last few years, the standards of driving in F1 have gotten really strict, and, denying the apex like that is normally frowned upon.
Yeah.
But I will also say this. That was relatively clever moves that you were pulling off throughout the event in that Williams. And it was interesting
I had to do
see
it.
watching
You
you
have
do
to
that.
do anything possible in these lower end cars. I don't think you actually realise how bad they are to drive.
They're
Well,
horrendous.
it's not a Haas, mate, and the Williams have already taken home like 3-4 wins this season, so it's not that bad.
Frisbee's just class to his own, though, isn't he? He can drive a wheelbarrow and make it look quick.
All right. Well, either way, Waddington, great job, second in the points. Sadly, Manufacturers Championship, though, will be denied to the Williams, despite having a great run near the end of the season, though. But second place in the Manufacturers Championship still up for grabs, and it looks like you guys might be in a good position for that.
I'll see if I'm racing. I only step in if someone's not here, and obviously Starfish went here, and Ryan. So I jumped in Williams. But I won't like to be in Williams for Monza. No, thank you. Sam thought we're bad enough.
Well, irregardless, I do want to say thanks for being willing to jump in, mate, and talk with us.
Thank you. Congratulations
and great job on your run
title,
today.
Matrix.
All right.
Cheers.
All right, Matrix, one last question, then we'll go ahead and wrap up the broadcast. One last question for you. If you have the opportunity, are you going to run the number 1 for next week's race?
No.
How sad. How pathetic. All right.
Can I even pick that?
All right.
I don't think I can I?
I'd hope the game would let you.
No, it doesn't. Only gives you number
What?
2.
That's horse crap.
Yeah. I didn't think it was an option.
Oh, that's crap.
Yes, because it lets you have it in career mode.
Say that again?
It lets you have it in career mode.
Oh, does it? Oh, right.
Yeah, it lets you have number 1 if you win title.
I've never
Yeah,
got
but it
that,
doesn't
so-
matter because of the way this works, and we have to orchestrate this. All right, well, thanks to both of you. Outstanding
Yes.
race. And we look forward to everyone watching the season finale next week. Although the championship titles are decided, there are still a little bit of pride and other points on the line, and one more trophy still out for grabs. Next week is the season finale at Monza. But tomorrow, there still is 3 races, the X1, X2, X3 races. Those all will be taking place at Silverstone. Until next time, though, I've been your host for today's Racing St. Lear. Sign off. I want for watching, and goodbye.